Sometimes when I wake up on a Sunday morning, I'm not in the mood for breakfast, but I'm in the mood for yum cha. I'm going to show you one of my favourite wonton recipes using duck, and I'm going to serve it with a delicious black vinegar sauce. So good. So we need to start with the filling. I've got 4 spring onions here that I'm just going to cut into battens. I'm going to be putting everything into the food processor so I can make the mixture quite fine. 1 clove of garlic, and I'm just going to mince this straight in. Perfect. And I've got about a 4 centimetre piece of ginger here, but I'm going to use some now for the filling and then a good amount of it later on in the sauce. So again, mincing it. Perfect. And some 5 spice. You'll find some cinnamon, some white pepper, star anise, fantastic flavours. Want about a teaspoon of that in there. And some hoisin for some sweetness, about a tablespoon. So once I've added the duck, I'll have a taste to make sure that it's sweet enough. You can always correct it right at the end there. And some saltiness, a bit of soy. Again, same portioning, a tablespoon. And that's the basis for my mixture. Now for the duck. I'm going to be using this Chinese style half roasted duck. Loads of meat on this. You've got the leg and you've got the duck breast there. So what I'm going to do is just cut the meat off the bone, roughly chop it, and I'll blitz it to combine it with the rest of the filling. This is looking fantastic. This is the consistency that I'm looking for. See how it's quite fine? That's absolutely perfect. Now for the wonton wrappers, I like to use square, quite thin ones for this. You can see what they look like. And these you can find from all good Asian grocers. You can even find them in supermarkets now. And we'll start with about 4 and then cover it because you don't want the wontons to dry out. And then we can start filling them. So about a teaspoon into the centre. I can smell that 5 spice and the hoisin sauce. Yum. And now to stick them, I've got a little bit of corn flour and some water here. Not too much, just a thin amount, just around the sides of the wontons. And you could make them into tortellini shapes or keep it really simple like I'm going to do. Fold it in half to make a triangle, and then you want to really just use your 4 fingers here to squish it together and get out all of that air. And that's your first wonton. How perfect is that? Now these are fantastic to do ahead of time because all you need to do is place them on a tray that's lined with a bit of baking paper, then cover them with a bit of cling film, and you just need to cook them when you're ready to eat them, and they take about 5 minutes to cook. So I'm going to finish making these. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a delicious sauce to go with it. Now for this delicious sauce, you need another big chunk of ginger, 1 tablespoon, finely minced, and another clove of garlic. Again, we're going to mince that together. And this sauce has some guts to it. It's quite bold because I'm going to be using some chili oil. But you need to be careful with chili oil because it can overpower it. So you need to balance it out with other flavours. And that's why I'm going to add a little bit of tomato. Tomato is going to give it some sweetness. So we're just going to chop this into small pieces. Seeds and all for this. And straight in there. No heat on yet because I just want this to cook very, very gently. And now for some black vinegar. It's got a really lovely malt flavour to it. And some sesame oil in there. Perfect. Now chilli oil. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons. I'll have a taste of it at the end and I may add a little bit more. Again, it's all dependent on your palate. If you like a good hit of chilli, add a little bit more. So heat goes on now. And just let that cook away for about 5 to 6 minutes, which gives me just enough time to cook these lovely little dumplings. So I've got some water underneath a bamboo steamer here, a little bit of baking paper so they don't stick, and then in they go. I'll just start from the outside of this steamer. And these are a great investment because they're not only fantastic for wontons like this, but you can steam fish in here and you can steam some veggies too. Give them a little bit of room. All right, lid goes on. Give that about 5 to 6 minutes, enough time for the sauce to cook. Now this sauce is ready and you can see that the tomatoes have broken down nicely. I'm gonna have a little taste now, see how spicy it is. Ooh, that has some heat to it, but you want a bit of heat to this because it's gonna cut through the fattiness of the duck. Now have a look at these wontons. Ta-da! They are gorgeous. They're a little bit wrinkly, but that's what I like about them because the wonton wrappers are really, really thin. Now it's nice to have a shallow bowl like this because I'm going to arrange the wontons just around in a star formation, but I want a pool of this sauce just in the middle there, so this will catch it perfectly. And I'll try to fit in as many as I can. Now I'll put some sauce in the middle here, a little pool, and then a nice little drizzle on each of the wontons there. I love to use these crunchy shallots, and this goes around too. That is a fantastic way to do yum cha at home, or any time that you're entertaining. This is great to bring out because you can do them ahead of time. Friends can come over, you can be sitting around in the kitchen, making these together, eating them as they're cooked. Such a great idea.